Imagine a peaceful beach town hiding a dark, horrifying secret, a secret that involves multiple disappearances and a potential serial killer on the loose. In May 2010, Shannan Gilbert, a 24-year-old escort from Jersey City, New Jersey, went missing after a nightmarish 911 call in Oak Beach, Long Island. During the call, Shannan frantically pleaded for help, claiming that they were trying to kill her. Her panicked voice echoed through the phone lines, but despite her cries for help, it would take a year for her body to be discovered in a marshy area nearby. What began as a search for Shannon led to a far more sinister discovery. Over the next several months, police unearthed the remains of 10 to 16 victims along Ocean Parkway. These victims, like Shannon, were mostly young women working as escorts. Among them were also an unidentified toddler and a man dressed as a woman, adding layers of complexity to an already baffling case. The discovery of these bodies revealed the horrifying possibility of a serial killer or even multiple killers operating on Long Island. Despite extensive investigations, numerous theories, and renewed efforts in recent years, the Long Island serial killer, often referred to as Lisk, remains at large, and the true extent of this dark mystery is still unfolding. Shannan Gilbert grew up in Ellenville, New York, with dreams of making a better life for herself. She faced a difficult upbringing, moving between foster homes and struggling with bipolar disorder. Despite these challenges, Shannon was determined to succeed. She moved to Jersey City and began working as an escort to support herself while pursuing her aspirations of becoming a singer and actress. On the night of May 1, 2010, Shannan Gilbert went to Oak Beach, Long Island, for an appointment with a client. Around 5 a.m., she made a frantic 23-minute 911 call during which she could be heard saying, "They're trying to kill me." Her voice was filled with panic and terror as she knocked on neighbors' doors, pleading for help. Despite her desperate cries, she disappeared into the night, sparking a massive search effort. The search for Shannan Gilbert initially seemed fruitless, but in December 2010, a breakthrough came. While combing through the area for Shannon, police discovered the remains of another woman. This grim discovery led to the unearthing of more bodies along Ocean Parkway, revealing a potential serial killer's dumping ground. Despite these discoveries, it wasn't until December 2011 that Shannon's remains were found in a marshy area near Oak Beach. Her body was located just half a mile from where she had last been seen alive, raising more questions than answers about her final moments and the true nature of her death. The search for Shannan Gilbert took a dramatic turn in December 2010 when police discovered the skeletal remains of another woman along Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach. This unexpected find prompted a more extensive search of the area. Over the following months, investigators uncovered the remains of 10 more victims scattered across a desolate stretch of land. These grim discoveries suggested the presence of a serial killer, turning what was initially a search for one missing woman into a full-scale investigation of a potential killing spree spanning several years. Victims identified. The victims found along Ocean Parkway shared strikingly similar profiles. Most were young women who had been working as escorts, advertising their services on websites like Craigslist and Backpage. The identified victims include Melissa Bartholomew, a 24-year-old from Erie County, New York, last seen in July 2009. Megan Waterman, a 22-year-old from Scarborough, Maine, who vanished in June 2010. Maureen Brainard Barnes, a 25-year-old from Norwich, Connecticut, last seen in July 2007. Amber Lynn Costello, a 27-year-old from North Babylon, New York, missing since September 2010. Each of these women had traveled to Long Island under similar circumstances, with their last known activities involving meeting clients in the area. Their connection to the escort industry and their method of disappearance suggest a calculated predator targeting vulnerable individuals. Among the remains discovered, there were also victims who have yet to be identified, adding layers of complexity to the case. Notably, unidentified toddler, the remains of a young girl, estimated to be around 2 years old, were found near the body of a woman believed to be her mother, who also remains unidentified. This tragic discovery raises disturbing questions about the extent of the killer's brutality. Asian male, the remains of an unidentified man dressed in women's clothing were also found along Ocean Parkway. This victim is believed to be of Asian descent and between 17 and 23 years old. The presence of a male victim among predominantly female victims further complicates the profile of the suspected killer. These unidentified victims highlight the diverse and tragic scope of the case, underscoring the many unanswered questions that continue to baffle investigators and the public alike. Law enforcement efforts. Following the discovery of multiple bodies along Ocean Parkway, law enforcement launched a massive investigation. The Suffolk County Police Department, in collaboration with the FBI and other agencies, scoured the area for additional evidence and potential leads. Investigators employed various techniques, including cadaver dogs, aerial surveillance, and ground penetrating radar, to thoroughly search the area. Despite these extensive efforts, identifying the perpetrator proved to be a daunting task. The case's complexity and the lack of concrete evidence made it difficult for authorities to piece together the full picture of what had transpired. Jurisdictional issues. The investigation was further complicated by jurisdictional issues. The bodies were found in a region that fell under the purview of multiple law enforcement agencies, including the Suffolk County Police Department, the Nassau County Police Department, and the New York State Police. Coordination among these agencies was challenging, often leading to delays and miscommunications. These jurisdictional challenges hindered the efficiency of the investigation, with crucial information sometimes falling through the cracks. The overlapping responsibilities and fragmented approach made it difficult to develop a unified strategy to catch the killer. Alleged corruption. Adding to the difficulties were allegations of corruption within the Suffolk County Police Department. In 2012, the department's chief of police, James Burke, was accused of blocking an FBI probe into the Long Island serial killer case. Burke was later convicted of assault and conspiracy for beating a suspect who had stolen a duffel bag from his vehicle. These allegations of corruption cast a shadow over the investigation, leading to concerns that vital evidence might have been mishandled or suppressed. The potential impact of these corrupt activities on the case remains a subject of intense debate and speculation. Theories. Numerous theories have emerged regarding the identity and motives of the Long Island serial killer. Some investigators and experts believe that a single individual is responsible for all the murders, pointing to the similar profiles of the victims and the method of disposal. This theory suggests that the killer is a highly organized and calculating predator, familiar with the area and possibly connected to the local community. However, other theories propose the involvement of multiple killers. This idea is supported by the diversity of the victims, including the presence of an unidentified man and a toddler, which some argue points to different perpetrators with varied victim profiles. Additionally, the long time frame and geographical spread of the discoveries have led some to speculate that more than one individual may be responsible, possibly operating independently but using the same dumping grounds. Another theory posits that the killings could be linked to human trafficking rings or other organized criminal activities where multiple individuals might be involved in the abduction and murder of victims. Despite these various theories, no definitive evidence has emerged to conclusively support any single hypothesis, leaving the case shrouded in mystery and speculation. The ongoing investigation continues to explore these and other theories, with law enforcement officials and true crime enthusiasts alike hoping for a breakthrough that will finally bring justice to the victims and their families. In 2020, a renewed sense of urgency was injected into the Long Island serial killer investigation with the appointment of a new Suffolk County Police Commissioner, Geraldine Hart. Commissioner Hart brought a fresh perspective and a commitment to solving the case, prioritizing transparency and collaboration with other law enforcement agencies. She vowed to utilize modern forensic techniques and advanced technology to re examine evidence, hoping that new methods could shed light on the elusive killer. One of the most significant developments under Commissioner Hart's leadership was the release of a previously undisclosed piece of evidence, a photograph of a black leather belt found at one of the crime scenes. The belt, inscribed with the initials WH or HM, was believed to belong to the suspect. By publicizing this detail, authorities aimed to generate new leads from the public, hoping that someone might recognize the distinctive belt and provide information that could crack the case. This strategy reflected a broader effort to engage the community in the investigation, leveraging public awareness and participation. Despite these renewed efforts, the Long Island serial killer case remains unsolved. The investigation is ongoing, with detectives continuously reviewing old evidence and following up on new tips. The case has maintained a high level of public interest, driven by media coverage, true crime documentaries, and online forums where amateur sleuths discuss theories and potential suspects. This continued engagement keeps the pressure on law enforcement to find answers and deliver justice for the victims and their families. The Long Island serial killer case stands as one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in recent American history. With each new piece of evidence and every renewed effort, there remains hope that one day the identity of the killer will be uncovered, bringing closure to a decade-long nightmare. As we've explored, the case of Shannan Gilbert and the Long Island serial killer is a chilling and complex story that began with the disappearance of Shannan in 2010. Her frantic 911 call and subsequent death led to the discovery of multiple bodies along Ocean Parkway, turning the spotlight on a potential serial killer or even multiple killers operating on Long Island. Despite extensive investigations, jurisdictional challenges, and numerous theories, the case remains unsolved, keeping the true crime community and the public at large engrossed and perplexed. The impact of these tragic events extends far beyond the victims themselves. For the families of the victims, the pain and uncertainty of not knowing who is responsible for their loved ones' deaths is a continuous source of anguish. The local community has also been deeply affected, living in the shadow of fear and mistrust as the search for answers continues. The allegations of police corruption and mishandled investigations have further eroded public confidence in law enforcement, highlighting the need for transparency and accountability. We hope that sharing this story keeps the spotlight on this unsolved case and brings us closer to justice for the victims and their families. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Your engagement helps keep these stories alive and supports the ongoing quest for truth. Thank you for watching.